Hey everyone, welcome to this on the road episode of Enterprise Alchemy. I'm Ant. Today, Doug can't be here. He's sunning himself, I think, in Turkey. But I am joined by the lovely Valerie Dale, Group Chief People Officer at OCS Group. Val, thank you very much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here.
So let's kind of get straight into it. We don't like to beat around the bush too much. OCS, obviously a significant business, 120,000 plus people, as I understand it, and you're still growing. So that's a lot. That's a big structure for you to let's say, be looking after in terms of your colleagues and the people. One actually thing, and I know we just talked about this, so it's not necessarily on the pre-planned questions, but you're talking about running a lean structure because your business is a commoditized business, at least to some extent. So everything you do has to be purposeful. So in terms of the HR structure and how you kind of plan out your HR organization, what are the key things you're thinking about to make sure that it's lean but delivers value, and delivers the service to the people across the organization?
Yeah, so I think for us, it's about making sure that everything we do from an HR perspective is really adding to the bottom line because, we're a cost center at the end of the day. We can't generate revenue.
Yeah.
But what we can do is make sure that the HR initiatives that we put in place actually add to the bottom line in a different way. So if we've got really good talent and succession plans, as an example, then that means we don't have to go out to market. So there's less downtime. We're not paying recruitment fees or agency fees. We haven't got to wait for someone to get up to speed for 6 months and get them into the business. If we can promote within and grow our own talent, then they hit the ground a lot quicker. And that's how we can contribute to the bottom line better. So
right.
Always about making decisions like that and making sure we're structured and support the business plan in that way.
Yeah. So it's an incredible scale to be thinking about efficiency. So you're saying, roughly, and I'm not hold you to it, but like roughly speaking, how many people in the HR organization?
I think globally, we've probably got somewhere in the region of about 140, 150, something like that.
Yeah, wow. So sort of one and a bit people per 1,000 employees.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah. Right. So in terms of like measurement and things like metric, like keeping a close eye on metrics, I imagine that's something that you guys are thinking about a lot to evaluate the success and the, efficiency. Because as you said, it's not a revenue generating function, obviously, but there are ways that you can definitely save on cost.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you're not paying external recruiters and all of that kind of stuff, and you're developing people from within, they're faster to get up to speed in the role. And obviously it costs you less to put that bum on the seat, right? In the new role.
100%. Yeah. And I'm a big fan of data. Data's a big enabler for us. Our challenge is we've just bought 2 big facilities management powerhouses together last year. And so we're still going through that merger of the 2 businesses that were bought by the private equity company. And so our data's not quite there yet.
Right.
We've got to work on our HRIS technology stack.
Yep.
But once we do that and we get a global solution in place, we'll be in a much better position around technology that will help us to kind of make decisions around turnover and recruitment and how we can, build on some of that data that we need to help us make decisions to run better.
So here's another question. Again, this one's not one we planned, but since you mentioned that, I thought it's probably worth asking. As you're bringing these 2 significant businesses together, what was some of the, from your perspectives, some of the key people challenges in making something like that work?
Yeah, so when I first came in, I came in right at the beginning of the 2 organizations coming together, which was fabulous, right? That's the best time to come in at the end of the day. And quickly kind of getting up to speed on the 2 businesses, understanding those two businesses and thinking about the business strategy and where we're planning to go, I kind of looked at 5 pillars really. There were 5 kind of strategic HR pillars that we needed to work on and continue to work on. The first one is obviously around our culture and our values. So we've done some work on that. We've launched our new brand. We've launched our new True Values. They're called True Values. And that's because they stand for trust, respect, unity, and empowerment.
Okay. Oh,
So
okay.
that's
Yeah,
why they're
acronym.
called
Yeah,
True
yeah, got
Values.
it. Yep.
So that was a really important one. And communication, imagine trying to communicate with 120,000 people, across UK, Ireland and Asia Pac, some of which work on our customers' premises, not our premises,
Okay,
don't
yeah.
have work devices, might be only doing less than 16 hours a day. Because of benefits and things like that being impacted.
Right.
So communication is something we're really trying to work really hard on. So that was the first one. The second one was around talent management. So that's about, as I've already said, succession planning, developing our talent within. But not only that, we do need to bring talent in sometimes. When we bring that talent in, it's making sure that talent has future stretch, future capacity.
Okay.
So we're not recruiting for the here and now. We're recruiting for hitting the mark. We've got very ambitious growth plans. And if we recruit for people that are comfortable in a role now in some of the sectors that we want to grow and develop quickly, then they're soon going to be, out of their depth. And so we're kind of recruiting ahead for the future
Okay.
as well. So
Right.
the third one is around our HRIS and our systems and our getting global processes and systems in place. So that's quite a big one. We're kicking that off right now, actually, as we speak. We're going live on that one. The fourth one then was around diversity and inclusion, and equity, making sure we are very passionate about employability, about bringing people in from the communities that we work in, particularly from the communities that we work in, that have maybe some challenging, not have had the right opportunities of schooling and things like that. Giving them an opportunity to start their career in an organisation that's, for us, there's lots of opportunity. But also growing and develop that talent. So that kind of links back to the talent management pillar, because we want to make sure we develop everybody from different backgrounds as well, so that we're getting a nice, rich, diverse leadership and management team. And then the final pillar has been around kind of reward and recognition. So making sure we've got global grading systems in place, global structures, global rewards and recognition. And again, we've just launched our True Values recognition program. And that's done globally as well. So it's those were the 5 kind of strategic pillars that we've been working on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it just sounds like it's just a huge, just because of the sheer numbers, it's a huge thing to do. And like you said, the communication challenges means I'm sure you've had to be creative.
Yeah.
And probably it also just takes time, I imagine.
Yeah. And without a HRIS system in place across a lot of the countries we operate in, that makes that communication even more challenging. So, we're constantly, with the new HRIS program that's about to kick off, we're hoping that we'll be able to utilise that and constantly looking for opportunities to, keep that communication channel and dialogue open.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense to me. So it's just the good change management principles, looking at the systems, looking at your people, making sure they're coming along, you're building and growing that talent. You just have to, there's just big scale challenges.
Yeah. And country and cultural challenges and language barriers as well. So,
That's an interesting one. There's a question.
I've got to stop feeding you questions.
Yeah, I know, right? I will get on to these in a second.